It's been a while since I've done any filming. I think as of late, I've kind of just been adjusting to my new schedule and a lot of other things along the way. One of the major things that I've been aware of is a lot of like my eating habits have affected just like the way that I look, talk, feel, so many things. Um, right now, like it looks like I have a glow and blood is flowing. I think for the longest, and actually in some of my videos, I look back, I'm like, man, I look like very like almost like deficient. Like I look like I'm sick. Um, and I think that has to do with like the way that I've been eating, but also has to do with different vitamins that I was lacking. One of the major ones, I think, and I hate to admit it because my mom was always like, drink milk, drink milk, drink milk, and I hated milk, is calcium. So over the last couple of bits, I've started with like B12, multivitamins, vitamin D, and I think I'm gonna get potassium as well. But I think for the longest time I've been deficient in a lot of vitamins, and because of this, like my eating habits have, and I think it's too because of the vitamins. I know that like you crave certain foods when you're lacking stuff, and because I am a long distance runner, workout fanatic, and then do work and school, um, there's and there's no balance to it. So I for the yeah I just remember hitting just like a plateau, and no matter how much I slept, no matter how much I tried to figure things out, I couldn't. And I remember the turning point for me was when I was doing a work assignment, and I was like, I can't even spell this word. Never mind, finish this assignment, like this essay. And I was like, what is wrong? I powered through it and got through it, but I remember looking back at my work and I was not really happy or satisfied. And I was like, why is it so hard? I remember working out for hours and hours and not being exhausted. Now, what's going on? And that's when I decided to like kind of turn in and look at like, you know, what am I doing? So I've started to try to eat a lot better. I have definitely have a sugar addiction. So I've been supplementing that with like nut mix, dried fruits, and so it's more of a healthier route to go down. And I definitely feel a lot better when that happens, when I eat the right things. Another aspect too is these vitamins. Like I was getting like tingly feet, cold, just so many different symptoms, and I couldn't understand for the life of me what was going on. And I think what was going on was the fact that I wasn't receiving the proper vitamins. And I like, so I've kind of just did my own type of research on it, and I definitely think I should also get checked out by the doctor as well. But I did speak to one of my doctors about it, and he said, yeah, especially if you're living in North America, there's a lot of lack of sun, and a lot of vitamins that we do lack based on our diet. So it's very interesting to see. Now I know diet's a huge point, a huge perspective of things. So I am going to really put more focus on that as well. I find that because I have big sweet tooth, I kind of will, end up getting chocolate bars or end up like eating ice cream and things like that. And at the end of the day, it's not the best. And I also do like, I find too, especially after my workouts, like I kind of, when I listen to my body, I figure out a lot of things. Like another thing that I might think about getting is electrolytes, because I'm running 21 kilometers or sometimes even more a day or whatnot. Yeah, I'm sweating a lot, and so with that, I need a way to maintain those salts and those everything that's coming out of my sweat. And so there's a couple times when I was out running, I stopped at the corner store, got a Gatorade, and felt completely different. So there's truth be told to that kind of led me down the B12 way as well. And because I've had a background of being vegan and I used to have like an eating disorder type thing, so I think being low in B12 and even iron too has affected some things. So, but overall, I've really noticed a difference in just a lot of things. Before I like was really, really, really struggling. And I think it's something that's kind of been adding up for years as well. Like, I think there was times where like I hit plateaus and I was like, what's going on? And I think overall, people in general may forget about all these vitamins that like we need. And sometimes like I was feeling very depressed, like very, very depressed. And I didn't really tell anyone because I was like, I don't really want to go on antidepressants because I've been on them before and they don't make me feel happy, or they kind of it doesn't do it. And oddly enough, taking the vitamin D and B12 has made me feel happier and normal again. And it's crazy because crazy to think about that I could have gone on an antidepressant and, that would have just been taping up what's really going on. And I'm not against antidepressants or anything, but I do think, there might be people who have been experiencing some of the similarities that I have been, because of a lack in a certain vitamin. And I used to just poo poo vitamins. I'm like, I don't want to take extra pills or whatever. Right now, I'm taking 5 different vitamins and I feel great and fantastic. Like, I can't stress enough how much it has changed me from like a couple months ago. My nails are now long. Before, my nails could never get long. My hair feels soft and just is growing. It was never growing. My skin looks so much better. Like, before, it was looking like I was breaking out. I was I looked pale. I was very dark. Like around my eyes were really, really dark. My whole face was dark. Like, a lot of me seemed very, like, it's hard to describe it. It almost seemed like I looked like blue. And I couldn't figure it out. And like, I was eating so much and I still couldn't feel okay. Like, it was weird. Um, but yeah, so it's really, really taught me a lot about just health and nutrition. And that I like, yeah, I have my sweet tooth and I don't want to give into it as much because it's like they're like, what you eat is definitely the like what your whole body becomes. And I was a little bit scared about taking vitamins because it's like, what if it makes me gain weight or whatnot too. But I kind of got to a point where I was like, I feel so bad that I don't even care, you know? And I don't know if it has made me gain weight. I'm still 110 pounds, so I don't think I have. There's sometimes where I'm a little, I, sometimes like these vitamins can cause like constipation or whatever. There's times where that does happen, but like, I mean, as long as I keep moving, and then it seems okay. But yeah, it like, I don't know. I just feel like a completely different person. Um, it's like I, yeah, there's times where I do sleep in and things like that as well, and I feel a little bit less stressed. But it's not like it was before. It was completely different. So, yeah, I just I think, when you start to feel not okay, definitely start to explore vitamins and minerals as well. I know that zinc's important as well too. I've been doing some more and more research on it because I think, you know as we go on in our day-to-day lives, we start to like, I know I do it personally. I will be like, what's wrong with me? Like, what's going on? Like, what did I do to do, like, how this happened? Like, why am I feeling this way? Like, why am I not like, I remember it was like my birthday and I wasn't even happy that it was my birthday. Like, I just, could never, I couldn't put a pinpoint on it. And like, no matter how long I slept, no matter how long I did stuff, I still couldn't feel okay. And I think that when you start to feel like that, it's instead of just putting up with it and moving on to the next thing. Actually, like I got to a point where I couldn't move on to the next thing, and it was actually my boyfriend's mom who got me the multivitamins, and that's when I started to feel different. And when you try something like that different and something works, then you like I know personally when that happens, I start to feel a lot better, and I want to explore more. I'm like, okay, what's working there? Why do I feel okay? What's happening? And I think when with that multivitamin, I was getting a portion of something that I needed. And so I had a lot of portions of stuff that I needed. But and like I've also explored too. Like I've heard, if you're eating a lot of sugar, you need protein, or if you're they're just different things that um, your body does as a symptom when it's low in something. And I've always it's crazy to think what you ingest does so much to you, whether it's making you feel better, whether it's making you feel worse. I'm all about trying to feel well balanced and like have a good well being. And when I was just not feeling like good, I was avoiding people. You know, didn't feel myself. It was crazy, and maybe people around me didn't really notice, but I knew how much I did not feel good. And yeah, it's something that really does affect you and hit home. And the best thing is I remember feeling just really dumb, and I didn't understand why. Like, why do I feel so dumb? And why can I not remember things, like simple things? And it wasn't because there was so much on my plate. It was because I couldn't handle things. And now I kind of seen these things in others when people are so tired and stuff. I'm like, I wonder if you're low in vitamin D or vitamin B12 or whatever. I also, oh yeah, I'm also taking B vitamin complex as well. So I think the combination of everything. One of the nurses at my boyfriend's grandmother's place told me that taking a bioactive B complex is really good in addition to different B vitamins. So I've started taking that too. I know it's probably not the best to start taking different pills, but I think I'm kind of explored, and I take things sometimes twice a day, sometimes less. But yeah, one thing that I still experience is a lot of fatigue. And so I want to try to improve that. But besides that, I think, there's more exploration to do. But overall, I think I've definitely gained a lot of insight on, you know, how important health is, and how important a healthy diet is too. Because a lot of this can be gotten from a balanced diet. And I remember just craving more vegetables, which I really did. Usually people don't crave it, but then I think it was a lack in something as well. But overall, yeah, there's definitely a lot of quizzes too to check out, just to see kind of symptoms that you're feeling, and if your nails are brittle, or if your hair is not growing, or if your skin's not good, or whatever, then you don't need to be buying hand cream galore. There's probably another reason for that. So yeah. Anyways, that's enough for me for today. Oh, actually, a little bit more on my workouts. I've been doing a lot of 21K kilometer runs, just because it's getting a little bit cooler out, so I want to, and I just like to challenge myself. And it's been little increments more and more. But with that too as well, I want to try to train myself, but as I was doing it more and more, I was noticing that my mind wasn't in it as much. So I decided to start to implement more skipping into it. I'm going to be running on the treadmill today, and I think in the future I'm going to do a little bit more of bike riding as well, just to try to change it up again. I think another thing too is when you get so obsessive with one thing, your muscles get used to it, your body gets used to it. It's not a challenge. And so I'm all about trying to challenge your body, and I think by putting in more variety, it's a good way to go. And we'll see how these workouts turn out, and we'll see what happens moving forward. But yeah, I think that You know, maybe it's less cardio, more muscle building. Who knows? But as of now, that's where I'm at. And yeah, see you later.